Hello, everyone. I am Alina Speed, the Executive Director for Homebase Cincinnati. Thank you all so much for joining us for the 2021 Annual Bus Tour. We are excited that you're here because last year we had our first ever virtual tour. And although we thought we would be coming out of the pandemic, we are still currently going forward trying to figure out our new normal, and that's okay. However, the important work for uplifting our neighborhoods and continuing community development has not stopped. We're so glad to be hopping back over to the other side of the region by partnering with our friends in Northern Kentucky this year. Although we are highlighting the Northern Kentucky region, it should go without saying we are proud of all of the work that's going on to keep our communities strong and thriving. And remember that none of this could be made possible without the help and support from organizations such as our premier sponsor of Fifth Third Bank, the City of Cincinnati, and of course, our neighborhood CDCs. Without anything further, let's get into this year's virtual bus tour.
Hi, I'm Jill from the Catalytic Fund.
And I'm Adam from the Center for Great Neighborhoods of Covington.
Welcome to Northern Kentucky.
This is 302 West Martin Luther King Boulevard in Covington's West Side neighborhood. It was built in the late 19th centuries and was originally a corner market or a cafe. We acquired it as part of our strategy to spur economic development along the MLK Boulevard corridor and to promote further revitalization in the neighborhood. That work came out of several city and neighborhood plans that were focused on bringing neighborhood-serving businesses that would serve the residents of the community as well as bring visitors from beyond the neighborhood. We acquired it with the intent to develop into a restaurant with residential above. One of the participants, Sergio, in our food entrepreneur program, had expressed interest in opening a restaurant in his own and was interested in this particular building. After he graduated from the program, we worked with Sergio to develop a concept for the restaurant. The building had suffered severe structural damage after decades of neglect. In addition to that, there were some COVID-related challenges during construction, and not to mention Sergio's concern about opening a restaurant in the middle of a pandemic. We were able to complete the project and turn it over to Sergio, and he opened his restaurant, Oya, in the spring of 21. Since opening, he has experienced a tremendous amount of success and has done a wonderful job of bringing in guests from all over the region, as well as serving the residents of the neighborhood.
My name is Sergio Gutierrez, and I'm the owner of Oya. And we're located 302 West Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard here in Covington, Kentucky. We all started with the grocery store down the street called Gutierrez Deli. My father started that store, and we've been able to grow with the food. And the Center for Great Neighborhoods was offering a class called the Chef Low program. And I went in there, took the class, was able to come out with a lot of knowledge of the restaurant industry, and they made it possible for us to have and own our own restaurant here at Oya now. And the biggest influence that we have for cooking has been my grandparents, especially my grandmother. She makes mole, and a lot of the recipes that we actually cook here at the restaurant are hers. So.
Adam and I will show you some of the exciting projects our organizations have done in the last few years. Let's go. Built in 1921 by the Mutual Insurance Company, this beautiful building was designed by Samuel Hannaford, the same architect who designed Music Hall. Though it's located on a prominent corner in the heart of downtown Covington, the building had sat vacant for more than 20 years before it was redeveloped in 2014. Since the renovation, the Mutual building has 11,000 square feet of commercial space occupied by 6 tenants. On the second and third floors are 15 one-bedroom apartments, like this one. Each of the apartments has stainless steel appliances and granite counters with an elevated section that creates bar-style seating. The tall ceilings and huge windows make the space feel roomy and welcoming. The bedroom has a large closet and plenty of room for a queen-size bed. The apartments all have wood floors and washer-dryer hookups. The combination of prime location, historic architecture, and modern living makes the Mutual building a popular place to live.
This is the Hellman Creative Building, a former historic lumber mill that was built in the late 19th century that had also sat vacant for many years and was in business until the early 2000s. Remarkably, it stayed in the same family that entire time. It was acquired by the State Transportation Cabinet as part of the widening project of 12th Street, which is also a state highway. They held it as excess right-of-way for a number of years while they determined what to do with it. We had heard that the state was going to be selling it through auction, so we quickly developed a plan to try to acquire it, knowing that it was a significant building that played a transformative role in the development of the city, as well as employed many residents of the neighborhood during its lifespan. We acquired it in auction at 2014 and quickly went to work to develop a concept. We landed on doing artist studios given the nature of the structure, as it was an open frame structure that naturally lends itself to artist studios. We also experienced the role that artists play in revitalizing communities.
The Baptist Convalescent Home was built in the 1980s on an extraordinary site in the Hilltop Clifton neighborhood of Newport. When the organization relocated, a group of local developers decided to turn the building into luxury condominiums centered around the site's stunning views of Newport, the river, and the Cincinnati skyline. The gathering spots for the residents include this community room, the pool, and the roof deck, which offers nearly 180-degree views. Inside the model condo unit, you can see the contemporary open-plan layout. The ceilings were left open for a touch of industrial style, and the finishes are sleek and high-end. The balcony and 63 linear feet of floor-to-ceiling windows keep the owners connected to those incredible views.
This is Shotgun Row, a collection of 6 single-story shotgun homes that make up an entire block in the heart of the West Side neighborhood, which is a neighborhood in Covington that we have focused much of our real estate work over the decades. 5 of the 6 homes were long-term vacant properties that had fallen into extreme disrepair. The city had already had ownership of 2 of the properties, and so that spurred us to try to pursue acquiring the 3 others. We applied for and received a grant from the Kresge Foundation to develop the live-work spaces for artists. Typically, artists' live-work spaces are rental and in larger buildings, and this was the first one that we knew of was for home ownership. We also received home funding from the city to develop one of the homes for low to moderate income buyer, while the rest were market rate. For the owners who chose to stay, after 28 years of calling it home, we were able to get a facade grant from the city of Covington to redo the exterior. We matched that with a facade grant of our own to complete the exterior, so they match the others. The project was completed in 2015 and has been a catalytic project in addition to our other work in the neighborhood that has spurred further redevelopment in the neighborhood.
This former factory was built nearly 100 years ago in the middle of a residential neighborhood that likely housed many of its workers. It is located in Bellevue, Kentucky, a charming small city that does not have enough housing to match the number of people who would like to live there. This project, called Kent Lofts, has added 66 stylish apartments to the city, all of which were quickly leased. The developer felt it was important to retain the original industrial character of the building, so all those small window panes of glass were replaced in their existing steel frames, instead of taking them all out and putting in less expensive and less interesting modern windows. Other finishes that reinforce the style are the rustic paint on some of the doors and walls, cement floors, and 20-foot-high ceilings. There are several floor plans offered, many of which make full use of those high ceilings with lofted bedrooms. Kent Lofts is probably the coolest place to live in Bellevue. The Boom Block, an 1872 building in Covington, has been called the poster child for historic preservation and urban development. Several years ago, the surrounding neighborhood was fairly sketchy, but the visionary developers started its transition by turning the Boom Block into 9 townhome-style residences with one of the only living murals in the country. The townhome on the end is 5,000 square feet of elegant, stylish space. The street level is its own suite of rooms with seating, a kitchenette, and a Murphy bed. The second level is the living area and kitchen. Decorated with quiet colors and bold, large-scale art, it seems more like a Manhattan apartment than a Covington residence. The top floor has 2 bedrooms, an office, and a family room. The Boom Block has truly set a new standard for urban living in our region. The former Stewart Iron Works was acquired by the City of Covington in a complicated real estate swap. The building now houses the Life Learning Center, a nonprofit that delivers a continuum of education and services to help at-risk individuals reach their highest potential. The central hallway, which they call Main Street, showcases the success stories of the people who have improved their lives with the help of the center. At the Life Learning Center, the classrooms provide the foundation of their services. By completing steps in the program, clients earn Dignity Dollars that they can spend on toys for their children, household goods, and food in the cafe. They can also build new professional wardrobes with clothes available in the free shop, The Hanger. Last year, the Life Learning Center served nearly 300 clients and reduced the recidivism rate to half the national average. They're making a critical impact in Northern Kentucky.
These are some rental units that we have on Lee Street. Historically, the Center for Great Neighborhoods has focused on homeownership units, as that was a stated goal for the community and city for many years, given the historically low homeownership rates of the neighborhood. Over the years, as both the work that we've done, as well as the changing landscape of the market in Covington, we've recognized the need to provide quality rental units in addition to our homeownership units. With that, we've developed a rental program that has a mix of market rate and affordable units as well. This fits our mission of believing in a mixed income neighborhood that benefits everybody. We also recognize the importance of providing a mix of units for folks at different incomes.